In today's psychological breakdown, we unravel one of the most haunting unsolved cases of the 21st century. A young woman, alone in Los Angeles, vanishes without a trace, only to be found weeks later in a place no one expected. And the only clue? A surveillance tape that still disturbs viewers to this day. This isn't just a story of a disappearance, it's a descent into the unknown. You're watching Code Red Investigations, where truth surfaces, lies collapse, and justice never blinks. This is the case of Elisa Lam, and the elevator that watched her last moments. She was 21, a Canadian student from Vancouver, thoughtful, bright, a lover of books, fashion, and self-expression. Elisa Lam documented her life online, her struggles with bipolar disorder, her dreams of graduate school, her fight against the weight of depression. She wasn't just a face in the crowd, she was a voice, real, vulnerable, and human. In January 2013, she set off on a solo journey across California, a personal adventure, a chance to find herself. One of her stops, the infamous Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. The Cecil wasn't just another budget hotel. Opened in 1924, its early glamour faded quickly. By the 1930s, surrounded by Skid Row, the hotel transformed into a haven for crime, addiction, and tragedy. It housed serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker who stalked the streets by night and dumped bloody clothes in its dumpsters by morning. Jack Unterweger, an Austrian journalist turned killer, also stayed here, using the hotel's history as inspiration. And then came the ghosts, whispers of hauntings, screams in the night, and a reputation as one of the darkest locations in Los Angeles. Elisa checked in on January 28th. She was placed in a shared room, but other guests complained about her behavior. She was moved to a private one. She locked roommates out, left strange notes, claimed she was being followed. Her last known communication was with her family. She'd promised to call every day. On January 31st, the calls stopped. Days passed, no word, no activity. By February 4th, the LAPD was involved. They searched her room, the lobby, the rooftop, nothing. Even sniffer dogs couldn't trace her. Elisa Lam had vanished into thin air. Then, the tape. 4 minutes of grainy surveillance footage. It shows Elisa stepping into an elevator. She presses multiple buttons. The doors refuse to close. She hides in a corner, peeks out, darts in and out of the elevator like she's being followed. Her hands move erratically, like she's communicating with someone or something just beyond the frame, and then she vanishes. The elevator doors close, and the internet exploded. What did we just witness? A psychotic break? A supernatural encounter? Or something far more sinister? Some said Elisa was playing the elevator game, a viral ritual said to transport players to another world. Others swore she was fleeing a real person, someone hidden from the camera's view. Still more believed it was a mental health episode, triggered by inconsistent medication. And yet, no theory fit cleanly. There were no signs of foul play, no witnesses, no explanation. Then came the complaints. Guests at the Cecil began noticing black water, low pressure, a strange metallic taste. A maintenance worker was sent to the rooftop water tanks, and there he found her, Elisa Lam, naked, lifeless, floating face up just below the surface. Her clothes were in the tank. Her belongings, too. The hatch had reportedly been open, but conflicting statements clouded that detail. Some said it was shut. Others swore it had always been ajar. The tank was over 4 feet tall, with no internal ladder. Getting in was possible. Getting out, nearly impossible. The autopsy offered little clarity. No drugs, no alcohol, only traces of her prescribed medications, and even those suggested underdosing. No visible trauma, no signs of sexual assault. The official ruling, accidental drowning. But it didn't feel like an accident. It felt like a riddle. Was she murdered? There were no suspects, no motive. Was it suicide? She left no note, no evidence of intent. Was it paranormal? The elevator footage, the hotel's history, the parallels with the horror film Dark Water all fed the legend. But perhaps the most painful theory, and the most human, is this: that a young woman battling bipolar disorder suffered a manic episode and wandered to her death, not because of monsters, not because of ghosts, but because of an invisible war inside her mind. The Cecil Hotel has closed its doors, but Elisa Lam's story remains. Because we saw her, we watched her final moments play out in that elevator, and we were left with nothing but questions. No one saw what happened next. No one knows why she went to the roof, and no one, not even science, can fully explain what led her to that water tank. Maybe that's why the case still haunts us. Because sometimes the scariest thing isn't the unknown. It's the feeling that we almost understood, but not quite. Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it's confusion, isolation, the kind you can't see, even when it's right in front of you. Elisa Lam was more than a viral mystery. She was a daughter, a sister, a soul searching for clarity in a chaotic world. Her case remains officially closed, but for many, it will never be over. Because it's not just the darkness that haunts us, it's the feeling that she was calling for help and no one answered. If stories like this matter to you, if you believe in asking the questions others won't, stay locked into Code Red Investigations for more real cases.